Hi, I'm Kayleen. I'm growing in my urban backyard in Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. And today I'm going to share with you some propagating. We're going to be increasing the supply of mulberry trees in my backyard and pot up some for other people as well. I think I'll always be fascinated with the way you can take a seed or a cutting or a little plant and turn it into huge abundance. So that's what we're going to do today. So I'm walking around my front nature strip actually, where there's a gum tree, and I'm picking up sticks for this project. Today I'll be propagating mulberries and setting up a plant bay. About 4 months ago, I took some cuttings of my mulberry bush and put them directly into a garden bed. I had set up irrigation and I didn't have to really worry about it there. So rather than pot them up in pots, I put them directly in the soil and they grew. They were looking very healthy very quickly and growing really, really well. So today I decided it was well past time to lift them and pot them up because they were looking so lush, and it was about that time where they would start losing their leaves, but they were looking so big. I was a bit concerned that the roots would grow too big in the garden. I would never get them out. They were also growing in amongst other plants. So in that bed there's little carrots trying to grow and other little plants in there that the seeds were past little stage and they were wanting to grow on. Now when you put mulberry cuttings in, you need to keep an eye on it because they can start to fruit really quickly. So these little guys did start throwing out little fruit within a very short period of time, and I had to pull them off. So it didn't concentrate on growing fruit and instead concentrated on creating a nice root structure. So they were very successful. There was more than I pulled out here. I did find some dead sticks amongst them, but in all fairness, I really didn't even hand water them. They were totally reliant on a little dribble of water from the irrigation, and I didn't want to overwater them. I wanted them to grow pretty strong, and that's what they did. So those little carrots and other plants, I think there's little chives in there maybe, and I think I saw a little coriander or two pop up, but they'll be happier. I did leave one behind there. It is a shaded spot, but it should be fine. So the first thing we do is get set up with a few things I will need, and I'm pulling out some macrame cord. Actually, I've started using this because it is 100% cotton and I don't want little microfibers of plastic in the garden if I can avoid it. So that's what I've done. I've acquired some of that and bought it cheap on the marketplace, and I'm making plant ties with it. They're quite strong, and I'll see how many seasons I get out of it, but they are pretty thick, so I think they'll be good. They're also nice and soft, so they won't damage the plant, which is a good thing also. I'm not using potting mix here. I am using a garden mix that I ordered in bulk and it's quite anaerobic, so I've had to really soak the pots, like half fill them, soak them, let that soak in before I put the plants in. And in this way I know that the base of the soil is nice and damp for them. I'm not risking burying all these little plants and then finding that they haven't been watered properly later. I was really happy with the roots on this. I'm just pulling a few weeds off the soil, make sure nothing goes into the pots, but they are looking really good. Lots of fine roots in there. You can see all the fine roots. That's lots and lots of opportunity for the plants to take up nutrients. See that one there is especially good. So the more finer roots on them, the better. Not all of them were straight. There's a wonky one there, but I'm sure that will straighten up as it reaches for the sun. Otherwise, I'll give it a bit of a trim. Now, when I water with this soil too, it's going to settle as we go. So there is a little test that I do. I water in at the base, give it a good drink, and then I water the leaves, and you see the weight, and one or two will go over. They do need to be anchored with a stake, so that's why we collected the sticks earlier. So that's what we're going to use for stakes here. I do give them a really good drink too. So I water them a couple of times and then let that really settle, and then just before I put them away I water them again. Can never have enough water when you first put them in the pots. Now I tie knots in the end of those ropes so that they are least likely to fray. That's probably pretty obvious, but I thought I'd mention that too. So I just love the look of the sticks as stakes too, as opposed to the bought ones. Alright, as you can see, it is getting very late. Or I don't know if you can see, but it is, I can see the moon over there. So it's time to go in and pack some stuff up so it doesn't get wet, because I'm really sure we're going to get rain again today, which is lovely. It's really nice to know that the gardens get a good soak, because there's a lot that needed.